All right. Well, I know we've been going on for a little while, but we still got some important things to get to, so I'll try not to keep you too long. But we have my humble opinion, and I feel like I've been saying this for weeks now, but I have a stinger in mind in terms of like a sort of intro to this segment it's gonna happen sometime. So don't worry, guys. Uh, Not that you were worried, but it's time for my humble opinion. I had a few releases that happened recently. I wanted to talk about them. So, the Worship Initiative has released a couple of new tracks. Um, these are a bit more notable to me because they're originals from the Worship Initiative, and I'm a fan of Worship Initiative. I definitely appreciate the Worship Initiative more than most other worship bands out there, especially since Shane and Shane are heavily involved in it. I feel like that they've become less involved as of late, but either way, they've got a couple of new singles out. Excuse me, I'm burping. They've got More Precious Than Gold, Psalm. I lost my place. Psalm 19, More Precious Than Gold, Psalm 19, and Never Stop Singing, my Psalm 95. And More Precious Than Gold is a good worship song featuring Robbie CA, known for the Robbie CA band. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, but it's about valuing God's word and delighting in His law, and I'm a big fan of that that kind of theme in worship music. So and it's fun. It's a fun kind of song. I mean, it is very worshipful and intended for a more congregational setting, but I like the sort of like southern twang country influence that it has. But it's definitely very accessible. I'd say for the Worship Initiative in general, if you're a worship leader, definitely pay attention to them, and I would definitely recommend these two songs. Never Stop Singing, I felt like was a bit more generic musically, kind of your more generic worship song, but it still is a good worship song that is actually about worshiping God. And I always encourage that because that's not always the case with modern worship these days. So definitely check those out. I'm sure they're working on a whole album, but these two singles, More Precious Than Gold and Never Stop Singing, they're strong, very strong for worship songs. So go check them out. Precious and gold, sweeter than honey, reviving my soul. Come let us sing, come let us shout of your goodness. Come let us praise, come let us. All right. Next up, we've got someone that I've mentioned before on the show, Brian Sauvé. I want to say this is another Fapeste situation where I really butchered his name when I last. I don't even think I could really even figure it out. I think I said Suave, like Rico Suave or something. But I could just never really figure out how to pronounce his name. It was like, is it Sauve or Suave? But it's Sauvé. It's spelled Sauve with like an accent on it. He has a new, well, it's either you can consider it a long EP or a short album, LP. It's called Hearth Songs. And I don't know, it's got 7 tracks on it. That's like almost an album to me, and it's like almost a half hour, so whatever. I don't know if I would include it. I might include it on like a best albums list of the year, but yeah, anyways, Hearth Songs, it's a new release from him. He is Brian Sauvé is he's more the content that he releases is more like scriptural based, and so this was a little bit different for him. They're more personal songs, and as far as I know, most of the songs are written for his family. A lot of songs written for his wife, and the other songs written for his children. I mean, there are songs on there that are very, they have specific titles for like his daughter Daphne and such. But I love this EP slash short album. I think it's he's got that great like clean folk sound and lyrics that are very very personal, but very instructional as well, and poetic as well. He has a great way of words. I love the song "Old Neptune is Roaring." It's a song that's written to his sons. But the thing is that like I listen to it and it's very encouraging for me as a Christian man. It's got that kind of lyricism that literally like makes me want to get up and like go on an adventure, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I don't know, some people may roll their eyes at that kind of stuff, very like masculine kind of centered stuff. But I think it's great. I'm a sucker. Like, even though I love like very art housey films, but I'm always a sucker for movies like Braveheart and Gladiator. I think this Hearth Songs is a great example of what it means to be a father and a Christian man and a husband. So, but I think it's definitely something. There's something for everyone there for everyone to enjoy. Only nitpicks I would have is that there every once in a while there's like that folky trope of like having a chorus of "Hey," but it doesn't really bother me that much because I still just everything else I just really enjoy. So it's very nitpicky. So I would definitely recommend Hearth Songs by Brian Sauvé.
Don't you know the dragons out there, dragons out there. Come on, boys, don't be slow.
All right, next up, we once again we have some new stuff from Chase Tremaine. Last time we talked about his new single "Time," but now Chase Tremaine has released a deluxe edition to the album that he released earlier this year called "Accidental Days," and I wasn't aware of this album before, so I didn't talk about it before. But "Accidental Days" is this really fun, upbeat, punk rock kind of sound with some alternative influence to it, and so I would definitely recommend that. I mean, his we did feature spotlight his song "Tired Side of Content" on here, so if you enjoyed that, definitely go check it out. But this new deluxe edition features 2 brand new songs. One of them I talked about last time, but also one of those songs is "After Love" that features Benjamin Daniel, our friend Benjamin Daniel. And so there's that, but on top of these 2 new songs, there's also demo versions of not just songs from Accidental Days, but like previous releases. So like you got like different versions, you got demo versions, and on top of that, we have some commentary tracks from Chase talking about each of the songs from Accidental Days. And I gotta say, listening to him talk about the songs made me appreciate the album even more. In fact, it was very inspiring. Kind of wanted me to go back and it inspired me to start working on some more music of mine. And so I think this deluxe edition is definitely worth checking out. Not just from a music standpoint. The music is great. But also just hearing the commentary is very insightful, and made me realize things about the songs from the album that I didn't really pick up on. So yeah, and the two new tracks I think are great, and I would probably say they're just as good, if not better than, I mean, personally, I really love Time and After Love, and so I would say that they were my favorites from the album, if we're including them from the album. But yeah, definitely go check out this deluxe edition of Accidental Days from Chase Tremaine.
Love is not to be loved, to take and take but not give. Love is not to be loved, to take and take but not give.
All right, last but not least, we have a new single from Paper Horses, the new outfit from Sandra McCracken and, oh gosh, I can't remember all the people that are involved. We got Jess Ray as well. Gosh dang it, I should write these things down. Oh yeah, Taylor Leonhard and Leslie Jordan. They have a new track called In Everything, and it's very not too different from the other tracks that I talked about before. Just really good bluegrass kind of feel, very worshipful, and In Everything it's a beautiful song about seeing God in every aspect of life and knowing He's there through everything. From what I hear, In Everything was actually the first song that they wrote together, and it was written during COVID. And so, very uplifting spiritually, and I'm excited to whenever they release a full album. I'm a sucker for nice melodic bluegrass. And these are very talented ladies, and we're especially a fan of Sandra McCracken, so yeah, go check out In Everything by Paper Horses.
In everything, I see you.
All right, and that's it. That's enough of my humble opinion.
Hey you. Yeah, you person right there watching this video. Hey, did you know that this was just a little clip from an actual full episode of the show that I do called the I'm Clifford Today Show? Well, now you do. So you should just go and check that full episode out, and hey, while you're at it, you should just go subscribe and check out my whole channel. That's just my advice. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want.